8 reasons why historians hate Ridley Scott's Napoleon. 1. Napoleon did not come from nothing. The movie's tagline is "He came from nothing. He conquered everything." In fact, the Bonaparte family was Corsican gentry. They were descended from minor Tuscan nobility. Napoleon's father Carlo was a Corsican political leader. 2. Napoleon wasn't present at Marie Antoinette's execution. In fact, everything about this scene is fake. The movie shows Queen Marie arrested at the palace. She's executed shortly thereafter in her royal dress. Napoleon is one of the onlookers. In reality, she was kept in prison for almost a year. Her hair was cut off, and she wore a prisoner's robe. No one pelted her with anything, and Napoleon was busy with the siege of Toulon at the time. 3. The battle tactics in the film are ridiculous. At Toulon, Napoleon attempts to charge the British fort. His horse is predictably shot out from under him. This is incredibly stupid and pointless. The depiction of Austerlitz and Borodino is even worse. Cavalry is repeatedly shown charging into breastworks and line infantry. This medieval tactic was long obsolete by the early 1800s. Muskets and cannons would have decimated charging horsemen in seconds. 4. Napoleon's army never fired at the pyramids. Yes, there was a so-called Battle of the Pyramids, but it didn't happen anywhere close to the pyramids of Giza. No cannon ever fired at them either. It's a thoroughly debunked myth. No historian has ever believed. 5. Josephine wasn't a young seductress. Napoleon was her second husband. She was, in fact, 6 years his elder. Yet in the movie, she's portrayed by Vanessa Kirby. Kirby is 14 years younger than Joaquin Phoenix. Also, Napoleon's return to France had nothing to do with Josephine's adultery. He returned to stage a coup, which was a success. 6. Napoleon didn't abdicate because of his defeat in Russia. His retreat from Russia in 1812 was indeed disastrous, but the movie jumps immediately to his abdication in 1814. These two events were unrelated in reality. Ridley Scott somehow missed the 1813 German campaign. He said nothing about the 1814 invasion of France. If not for the Sixth Coalition, Napoleon could have recovered. But these important wars aren't even mentioned in Napoleon. 7. Napoleon never led an artillery charge. The French emperor had 0 cavalry qualifications. Many people tend to forget he was an artilleryman. The movie shows him leading the charge at Waterloo, but this battle is actually famous for Napoleon's ailment. He had a bad case of hemorrhoids and couldn't even sit upon his horse. 8. Napoleon did not lure the Austro-Russians into an I Strat. The Battle of Austerlitz didn't take place on a frozen lake, nor was it a simple ambush, the way Scott portrays it. In the movie, his troops simply unleash an artillery barrage from a height. They stay hidden, while the enemies drown spectacularly. In reality, Napoleon's tactics were much cleverer. He feigned weakness by evacuating the Pratzen Heights. Then he baited his enemies off to attack his weakened right flank. At the same time, he sent his center to capture the heights behind them. Some of the surrounded enemies did flee across frozen ponds and drown, but their number was negligible.
What do I think about historians who have suggested Napoleon is factually inaccurate? You really want me to answer that? It will have a bleep in it.
Ridley Scott, director,